Glad to be back behind the mic, folks. As I'm sure you probably gathered, this is an all coronavirus edition of the show and how it affects Tesla. Oh, and a little bit of Model Y sprinkled in too. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 582 for March 23rd, 2020. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a new Tesla, please consider using his referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000 mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. Well, hello there, folks. It has been way too long. I'm glad to finally get to talk to you all about our favorite car company again. If you're interested in my trials, stay tuned for the end of the show. Off to the Tesla news now, though. Just as everyone has been, Tesla has been affected by the coronavirus impact, and not necessarily in ways you might expect. Firstly, as you may already be aware, California has been ordered to shelter in place except for emergencies. While the state considers automobile manufacture essential business, Alameda County, where the Fremont factory is located, does not. And it's issued its own order for shutdown of non-essential business. As a result, Tesla has suspended manufacturing operations as of the close of business on Monday. From their announcement, quote, "We have decided to temporarily suspend production at our factory in Fremont from the end of day, March 23rd, which will allow an orderly shutdown. Basic operations will continue in order to support our vehicle and energy service operations and charging infrastructure as directed by the local, state, and federal authorities. Our factory in New York will temporarily suspend production as well, except for those parts and supplies necessary for service, infrastructure, and critical supply chains. Operations of our other facilities will continue, including Nevada and our service and supercharging network." End quote. On the upside, deliveries will continue for the remaining inventory available, and it will do so in the safest manner possible. Again, back to Tesla's announcement, quote, "In many locations, we are in the process of implementing touchless deliveries, so customers can continue to take delivery of their vehicle in a seamless and safe way. Due to the unique over-the-air connectivity of our vehicles, customers are able to unlock their new cars at a delivery parking lot via the Tesla app, sign any remaining relevant paperwork that has been placed in their car, and return that paperwork to an on-site drop-off location prior to leaving. This method provides additional convenience and comfort." End quote. On the flip side of the shutdown is the spin-up of Elon and company providing needed equipment to frontline medical workers. The whole shooting match started when in a Clean Technica article, Elon mentioned that Tesla had 250,000 N95 masks and an additional 1,000 or so ventilators that he could provide. In at least 3 separate instances, shipments of masks have been delivered, in addition to the shipment of promised ventilators made it to those needing it courtesy of Elon and Tesla's efforts. We picked this up from 4 different sources, starting with a tweet from UCLA Health thanking the team. Quote, "Stronger together. Some much-needed supplies have arrived. Thank you, Elon Musk and Tesla, for your generosity and being part of Team LA. Hashtag coronavirus." End quote. The next thanks is coming from Dr. Adams Waldorf of the University of Washington Medicine via a tweet as well. Quote, "A quick photo of 50,000 N95 masks and uncountable PAPR helmets from @Tesla, @Elon Musk, @Omid_A for COVID-19 response in my garage before they were loaded into @UW Medicine trucks. Grateful to Tesla for this lightning-fast donation. We are so in need right now." End quote. The irony of this last tweet is that it was a retweet from the recipient quoting a tweet that Elon was actually doing this only for publicity. As usual, haters gonna hate no matter what. Third, another shipment of masks reaches Columbia University Irving Medical Center, according to a story from Tasmanian. Donald Lin, Senior Vice President and COO of the organization, as well as CEO of Columbia Doctors, said, quote, "We have thousands of doctors, nurses, and support staff who are on the front lines of this pandemic taking care of patients. Tesla's generosity will help them. We can't thank them enough." End quote. Lastly, and certainly not least, we get confirmation via another article from Tasmanian that the ventilators have made their way to needed clinicians. In an address recently, California Governor Gavin Newsom said of Elon, quote, "Elon Musk, how about this? I told you a few days ago that he was likely to have 1,000 ventilators this week. They arrived. They arrived in Los Angeles, and Elon Musk is already working with the Hospital Association and others to get those ventilators out there in real time. It's an heroic effort." End quote. Elon further confirmed the delivery and the source of the supply via tweet, saying, quote, China had an oversupply, so we bought 1,255 FDA-approved ResMed, Philips, and Medtronic ventilators on Friday night and airshipped them to LA. If you want a free ventilator installed, please let us know, end quote. Just wow. Thank you, Tesla, and thank you, Elon, for your help of those on the front lines. We need you and the others like you that have stepped up performing this great work. So, yeah, basically, in any other environment, we'd be talking at the top of the show about Model Y's official release into the wild. My Twitter feed has been dotted with many folks taking delivery of Tesla's latest vehicular masterpiece, and it's been a joy to see in these troubling times. Among the news coming out has been Tesla releasing a nice support video showing utilization of Model Y's rear storage capability. A really nice touch are the switches near the liftgate that permit you to fold the rear seats down remotely to store more than you may have originally anticipated. Nice quality of life touch to not have to run up to the rear door or crawl into the back to reach the latch for the seat. Of course, the video only showed the 5-seat version. Hopefully the same is true on the 7-seater and the controls are available for both rows to remotely control. That, however, was just a quick taste. If you're jonesing for a more complete overview of the vehicle, Tesla Raj has your fix. He's got a video of a bit more than 14 minutes taking you through everything on the vehicle. So whether you're wishing to order a Model Y or you're waiting on yours to be delivered, I think you'll find this video 14 minutes well spent. Lastly today, here's the part of the show where I talk about myself for a bit. I don't tend to do this because this is a Tesla show, you know that, but it's an interesting time right now. Being in Ohio, we've been dealing with our children being home for the last week due to the order from the governor to cease school operations. Being my wife and I have 2 school-age children, in addition to our new addition, this means we actually have to fulfill the job of 2 teachers delivering their lessons as well as our school district is continuing teaching in spite of the stoppage on physical class attendance. The family has been on top of each other, and nerves are beginning to get a bit thin among the family, mostly with our boys. They don't get the gravity of the situation and are really treating this as a vacation despite their continued schoolwork that we must harangue them constantly to do. And yet, for that, I'm thankful, because it means we're doing our job as parents to keeping some normalcy in the home despite what's going on in the world. The story of Tesla helping with medical supplies particularly hits home for me, as my wife is an ER nurse, and while we don't have absolute confirmation, we're pretty sure she had her first coronavirus patient during her last shift. This is at the same time her hospital is having staff reuse N95 masks that are only approved for one-time use by the FDA and not masking patients coughing or sneezing in the ER waiting room due to the shortages. And yet, I'm thankful. Thankful that thus far my wife is safe, my family is safe, and I am safe. Thankful that I have you wonderful folks to talk to when I'm able, and thankful that there are promising advances to stop this thing. So please, folks, do yourself and everyone else a favor. Regardless of government order, for the next few weeks, please think twice before venturing out, and if you do, please ensure you're keeping your distance from those around you and washing your hands consistently. We've got to stomp this thing out, and the only way to do it is to starve it out. The best quote I've seen through this whole ordeal came from the Twitter account of Dirty Tesla, and it's a quote from former Health and Human Services Secretary Michael Levitt under President George W. Bush. Quote, everything we do before a pandemic will seem alarmist. Everything we do after will seem inadequate. End quote. As I mentioned when I retweeted this, I'd rather be in the former situation than the latter. As inconvenient as the measures may seem, they're worth it. Stay safe, friends, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They're Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dory and Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, and Joy Rodriguez. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next time, and hopefully that's sooner than the last time, keep it charged and hit the road.